If you know the symbol, you know what I'm going to talk about today. And I'm gonna cut it short right from the start. If you do it on my channel, you get banned straight up. And there's a very good reason for it. You'll see in the rest of this video. Basically, let's let the video do the talking. This is the so-called Missingno. I don't know how they came up with that name. That's not Missingno. I mean, I guess it could be a Pokemon of a higher number that's in the Pokedex, but it's never released or something like that. Then it could technically be a Missingno, but there's nowhere that says it is a Missingno. The original Missingno actually says it's a Missingno. It's just a hacked Switch hosting a hacked Pokemon, and you are catching it in order to do this so-called duplication glitch. The reason why somebody could name this a glitch is because it happens after you catch the hacked Pokemon. But you need this hacked Pokemon. It's not a glitch if you need a hacked Pokemon to do it. It's hacked. Okay, full stop. Now, this here is, if you see it, please don't go into it. What they do is they catch this Pokemon. I didn't do it myself. I got a member to test it out for me and to test out a few theories I had. So a shout out to Shah who did that for me. Thank you very much. This here is what you use to create a source, basically an egg Pokemon, where you put it into the daycare center. If you've done this, you know what I'm talking about. You put it into the daycare center, and then it will, if you do it in a specific way, putting a Pokemon in the 6th slot and then something like that, and then this Pokemon will turn into another Pokemon that you've put in a specific position. There's other videos out there on that. I'm not here to advertise for that method, so I'm not actually going to explain to you how to do it. But yes, it certainly works. Did it involve hacking? Yes, it did involve hacking. Unlike Doodoo, which requires you to interact with the hacking, but then you restart the game as though you never interacted with the hacking. This method requires you to catch and save. So it's hacking, full stop. Now the problem is you are creating Pokemons with the same secret ID through this duplication. But any duplication, like SwSh or whatever, any duplication will give you the same Pokemon Home ID. And that applies to all Pokemons that have passed through Pokemon Home. So it's no better than genning. It's 100% detectable, and it will cause problems for trading, and you'll see why. Okay, so in this part you'll see that I have received the cloned Reshiram on a new save file. Of course, I don't want to affect my original save file. This is a very risky method. I'm gonna see if this Reshiram can go into Pokemon Home. Now, you must note at this point that we have already double checked that you cannot put the clones back into Pokemon Home because it will have the same secret ID as the original. You can only put one in. You can only choose one of the clones or the original to put back into your Pokemon Home. All the other clones will not be able to be put back into Pokemon Home. But what we're going to check now is whether we can go around the whole issue. So what happens is if we now trade one of the clones to someone else, and basically I'm gonna receive a clone, and if I can put it in my Pokemon Home whilst they have it in their Pokemon Home. So we're gonna check all this now. Gonna go into Pokemon Shield, and we're gonna try and put this Reshiram in, and this is the moment of truth. So right now, my associate has the Reshiram. Okay? He's got the clone. So he's made, actually, he took one Reshiram and made 2 clones out of it using that the new method. One clone he's put into Pokemon Home. One he left in Sword and Shield. He traded me through Sword and Shield the other clone to see if I can put this one in my home. Question is, can I, as a separate user, put this Pokemon in Pokemon Home? Because if I cannot, it's gonna create a huge mess a lot of issues for trading, because basically it's detectable for all users, not just the single user who cloned it. Now, I hope for the safety of our community that, I mean, for the benefit of our community, that I can actually save this, even though I don't like hacked Pokemons. So, we're gonna go ahead and save. Because if you imagine trading something really precious for this shiny Reshiram, and Home says, nah, sorry buddy, that's a clone. Okay, we're gonna go back in now. It's still there. Interesting. We're gonna try something else now. So what I'm doing here is I'm logging into Pokemon Home with the same account that has the Reshiram now, as you can see. And technically it should have the same ID. Okay, now, so just double check the stats there. Okay, so we're gonna trade this with our friend, with our colleague, Shah. And we've chosen to use the friend trade option for several reasons. Is you can do room trade, but that creates sort of several other confounding factors and uncertainties. Like you need a third person to be in it, then quit, whether that would have an effect or not. So we're going with the friend trade option. But of course, to do friend trades, you need to be in close proximity to that person, or you need to have the ability to fake your GPS. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to trade him the shiny Reshiram now that he cloned. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so we'll see what happens. So I'm going to trade now. So it looks to be okay so far. This is like the most roundabout way we've gone around to try and force an error. There already is an error, but we'll see if we can force a bigger error in doing so, because then we need to ban all type of trades that involve these supposed glitch cloned using Missingno Pokemons on our channel, because it's going to ruin everyone's save data. What's taking so long? It won't trade. It says ready. Has he clicked? I'm gonna check with him. Now it looks like Pokemon Home doesn't delete the Pokemon anymore. Nothing is happening. Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to ask him to give me Reshiram, so then technically there will only be one Reshiram on each side. So he's actually clicked ready, and nothing's happening. Now, we're going to... So it's 100% detectable via the secret ID. In other words, don't do it. If you do it and you trade it on our channel, you'll just get banned. You just get banned, like, because you're ruining it, else someone else's save. Okay, I'm gonna see if he can trade me the Reshiram, just for the sake of science, just to see if that's possible. Okay, so even that, nothing's happening. Now, well, that's interesting again. What I'm gonna do, I don't know why, but I can't even click cancel. I can't even switch this. Okay, I'm gonna have to reboot the whole thing. Give me a sec. It's literally screwed up my game, so I'm just gonna reboot the whole thing. So again, I'm just waiting for Shah to trade with me. So I'm just gonna give him a shiny Alolan Diglett. This should be completely legal and legitimate. What did he do? Hang on. Oh, it worked. Okay, so that's a bit of a sidetrack. I assumed that that wouldn't work, but it worked. And we're gonna see if the two reshrooms are still. Wait, what? Wait, what? So it does delete a clone. Did you guys just see that? I have one less Pokemon. If you compare to the screen before, I had 9 Alolan shiny Digletts. And now there's 8. And not one more Reshiram. And if you look at the actual numbers, total numbers of Pokemon, I am shorter by 1. And he did receive, so he's confirmed on his end, Shah is confirmed on his end, he did receive the shiny Alolan Diglett, which means you can actually scam somebody of shinies by doing this duplication glitch, and it's extremely risky for the entire community. Imagine trading a shiny Reshiram that you cloned using that glitch, and it gets detected upon trading, and let's say it comes, and let's say 2 shiny Reshirams with the same secret ID ever meet in any account, one of them will get deleted. I hope that makes sense. And just for the sake of science, we're going to trade Shah back the clone, not the clone Reshiram, and see if anything happens then. One more thing is, if Pokemon Home or Pokemon Company actually can be bothered and log every single trade, it is possible for them to trace back to the origin accounts. In other words, you're just telling everyone that you are the one trading all these duplicated Pokemons. You're the one that's generating all these illegitimate Pokemons and trading it for other people's legitimates and so on. Okay, here we are again. I'm going to give him back the Reshiram that he gave me to start with through Sword and Shield. And he shouldn't have one in home anymore. It should be gone. Rayquaza, nice. We're gonna trade. He shouldn't have one on his Sword and Shield in his home anymore. He shouldn't have one in his home anymore, and only one in his Sword and Shield. In other words, he should, by the rules of Pokemon Home, be able to accept this Pokemon without having it deleted, unlike what happened to me when I gave him the shiny Alolan Diglett. Okay, so I got the shiny Rayquaza there. That's irrelevant to what we need to do today, or what we're checking today. No matter, it's there, as you can see. I'm going to see that he's actually got the shiny Reshiram, and he has confirmed that he does have shiny Reshiram, which confirms our theory that and if you ever have 2 of the same secret ID in the same home, the second one that gets pushed in, or that tries to come in, will either get deleted if it's on a trade, or it just won't work. So finally, I have confirmed with Shah that indeed, after I gave him the clone that he gave me to begin with in Sword and Shield, I've transferred it into home and gave it back to him, and it's now in his home, in his Pokemon home. He tried to bring the original Reshiram, the shiny Reshiram, back into the home, and it does not work because they have the same secret ID, the same secret home ID. So I'll put down all the dot points in the recap in the description below. But basically, all Pokemon using the Missingno duplication glitch are made using a hacked Pokemon, caught from a hack den, so you're actually catching the hack. And using a hacked switch. So there's no doubt about it, it involves hacking. Number 2, all clones have the same secret home ID, so whether they've been traded or not. So if and this applies if they've been through Pokemon Home. Number 3, all Pokemons attempted to be brought back to Pokemon Home will encounter this error. So if you can put 1 in, you can either be the original or the glitch, or the clone one. But what happens is if you try to put another one into Pokemon Home, it will give you the error 10,000 as you can see on the screen there. So that's what happens if you try and push 2 of the same secret home ID Pokemon into Pokemon Home. Now, that is to say, if you put it into Pokemon Sword and Shield to do the glitch, and then you bring it back to Pokemon Home, it won't work, because it will just give you an error because they have the same ID. The good news for you, which is bad news for the community, the good news for you is it doesn't get deleted. So you then, what you do next is you go and try and trade it, alright? So now, number 4 is if you trade your clones out on Sword and Shield, it will work, it will trade. And the other person can put it into Pokemon Home. Like I showed you, it's on, like the clone is on my Pokemon Home while Shah had the same clone in his Pokemon Home. So it doesn't seem to interconnect and assess all secret IDs at the same time. It only assesses, the natural algorithm only assesses within the same account of Pokemon Home whether there are multiple of the same secret ID. And the problem with this is, if ever, like let's say you make a lot of these clones and you trade it out to multiple people, if they ever cross paths back into the same Pokemon Home, like I showed you, I tried to get 2 Reshims into the same account, several things can happen. One is either you get an error 10,000, or you have the new clone that's going into your account deleted, or it will cause an error in trying to trade. As you saw before when I did the friend trade, it seemed to just crash. And I don't know if that's just a glitch, like a normal glitch of Pokemon Home, because I haven't had that before. But when we tried to do my Reshiram back into his account, he originally had the clone Reshiram in there already. Nothing was happening. It wouldn't trade. And then I couldn't, for some strange reason, I couldn't even press cancel. Now, number 5 is any duplicates of the clone that you have. So understand the wording here is, if I have a clone and I try to get another clone by trading something precious for it, like a shiny Alolan Diglett, it will be gone. So this is my point of view, and what I've set for my channel is, henceforth, all members found to be using this so-called glitch, this hack pretty much, that creates the same secret home ID, and then what happens is they will try and trade it because they can't use it. What are they going to do? Delete it? I don't, like, if you're going to hack anyway, I'm pretty sure you're going to make the most out of it. So anybody who's using the glitch causing problems for the community, they will just be banned. That's our rule. That's a new rule on our channel, because the thing is, we can't control Sword and Shield trades, we can't control Pokemon Home trades, but we can know if someone has clones, because at some point it will be deleted and we can trace back to that. Now, if you are interested in joining our Discord channel, it's in the description below. I'll put a link up in there. If you have any questions about the problems in this glitch, you're welcome to ask us on the channel as well. Now, if you want to stop those clones being generated, and it could really affect you one day, because you can trade these on Sword and Shield, you can trade them on Pokemon Home, and then just insert another one into Pokemon Home. One at a time. Look, if you want to stop these from affecting you and you losing out on trades into the future, make sure you hit that like button so more people are aware of this. Share the video and subscribe.